So I have had the bikes a little while, so I've had a little bit of time to think of the best approach on these. Um, look, both of them will get a build of different levels. I'm not going to use one as a parts bike. It's not going to be. They're too good to use one as a parts bike to save the other bike, so they both will be done, just at different levels. I think we keep everything as matching as best as possible, but I would like all the original, the seats, the trim, the pipes, to go on the one bike. One bike does have better wheels than the other. There's a lot of bits and pieces like that, and I would like to build as close to factory as possible an original Katana 750, because they are just beautiful out of the box. Now the other one, because it will probably end up with the more second-rate parts, I think that gives me a bit of latitude to play with it a little bit. It won't be original, it won't be as tidy, but it'll still be a nice bike, and it'll be something I could have some fun on. So going original and going for a bit of a more of a toy bike that I don't have to worry too much about, but they are too good. They both need saving, but we all have a budget to do a full restore on something like this. Would be very expensive, but I can build one very beautiful bike out of the both, and the second bike will be put back on the road at a less of a standard, but still a beautiful bike. So that's the goal. I do have to get it out of my system first, though. A lot of people have said, does it start, does it turn over? I'm not like that. These need bringing back to life, so I will pull the tanks today. I'll check the carburetors, I'll change the oils, I'll start soaking the bores. Both have been sitting for more than 10 years as far as I understand. So although people would be tempted to throw a battery in and hit the key, that can only end in catastrophe, so we do have to bring them back to life and save as much of it as possible. That is the goal. I'm not going to sit here and film all day, so I'll probably take a few stills as it's coming apart. Maybe one day I'll invest in a tripod, but that is the goal. And I do need to get that out of my system, because I just want to hear at least one of them run. Okay, these are the plugs from bike number 2. Plugs can tell a story about a bike and how it was running. First plug was very black, but if that comes through alright, a little bit fuzzy. Now, to be honest, I do believe that cylinder may have got some moisture into it. Number 2 cylinder, I think, was maybe running a little bit rich, but would have been running fine. Number 3 had a bit of trouble with this plug. It was tight in the threads. I had to work it a little bit. Plenty of CRC, take your time. I do think I've managed to save the thread, so that should be fine. And if I go down to number 4, I've got another furry plug, which isn't a good sign, as I do believe some moisture might have got into these cylinders. It does sort of make sense. When I picked the bike up, the airbox wasn't fitted. I don't think moisture as in it's filled with rain. I just think it's just been open to the elements a little bit. Just checked all these pistons. They all move freely. Number 2 is stuck. So I'll start soaking that one, see if I can get some movement out of it. The plugs are out now, so I'm going to soak the bores, change the oils, and we'll see how we go from there. Just a tip out there for everybody. All I want to do is drain the oil from this. That sump plug is so tight. I've got about a 2-foot breaker bar on it. I've nearly pulled the bike over twice. There's no need to tension them up that tight. They've got an aluminium washer, maybe copper. You just, 20, 30 Newton meters tops. Like, there's no need for that. First little hiccup of the day. Plug's out. Old oil's coming out. It's been there a long time. Looks like a bit of lack of servicing. That's pretty black. Not too worried yet. It's black, but it is clean. There's no chunks in it. There's no water in it. So they're all a good sign. Just so you know, I have been soaking the bores. I've done this a few times, but it's my own little concoction. A little bit diesel, good penetrating fluid, and I'll mix it up with some auto fluid. Has lots of additives in it, and we'll just let them soak for a few hours before I turn it over. I know number 1 and 4 on top dead center, they only took about 100 mil. The other two probably put a couple of 100 mil in those, so it's filled the cylinders up. Yeah, wait and see. We'll see if she turns over. Okay, that has been sitting for a couple of hours. This is the first turn of the bike for who knows how long. Fingers crossed. It's tight. Yep, she's starting to move. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay, good call to soak those bores. It's been a couple of hours. Probably overnight would be better. But it is moving. But oh yes, it's getting better. That's nice. Okay, she stopped again. Now there's no plugs in there, so it should turn freely. Yep, it's getting easier and easier. Now this is why I didn't just hit it with the key. You don't know what's going on inside. Oh yes. And this could be a bad end. It's almost too easy now. Okay, let's have a bit of a break. Okay, latest on the inspection. As you saw on the first turnover, it was tight, then it was loose, then it was tight, and now it feels pretty good. I'll almost guarantee you the valves would have been sticky. There's probably a little bit of corrosion around the rings, but as I felt something contact as I wound the engine up. Now, number 1 felt like it had no compression. I ran it a few more times and that compression came back. So I really do think the exhaust valve probably was stuck open. The pistons helped that shut. We've got lubricant on everything. Everything's starting to free up. Now, if I'd put a battery and hit the key, that would have been a catastrophe. I'm turning it over now. It's nice and free. I can feel compression on every cylinder, so I think we can salvage this. It's looking good. Okay, I think we've had enough today. Hope you enjoyed what you've seen so far. I do have a really good idea of where I'm going to go with the bikes now. Today was just a bit of a recce to see where they're at. I couldn't help myself. I had to have a little bit of a play. I ended up swapping the tanks over. I'm not too sure if the camera will pick it up, but I was going to use the best plastics with the best tank, but there is a shade difference here. I'm sure you can see it. I'm not too sure about this stripe. Maybe someone can let me know. I don't think it's factory, but Maybe some models had them, some didn't. It is under the clears. I can't just remove it. Yeah, this is bike one. I just wanted to get it cleaned up so I can keep the enthusiasm, see the potential. Put a couple bits more trim on it, put the mirrors on. This is going to stay as original as I can within budget. Now bike two. Look, I think this is going to be the first one to get up and running. Yeah, I've put the more average parts on it already. It's probably going to be the quickest and easiest one to get running, and it's going to be warts and all. It's going to show its age, which I don't mind. You can show its history. But in the long run, I think this is just going to be a fun bike. I'll probably straight pipe it, put some pod filters on it. I'm not too worried about the overall appearance. It's just something I could really enjoy. So it's going to sound good and it's going to look good. So I've decided to call it a day. I've had enough. I'm a little further ahead than I thought I would be. All good. So if you are from Australia, you know when to call it a day. I've just blown a flong. I've got a cold beer. I've done enough work. We're going to call it. Hope you enjoyed.